Hi, YouTube. It's me, Creamy Sabir. It's them, Seekers Galanti. It's this, Second Awake, episode 82. Yeah, when we last left our heroes, which is, of course, how Matthew Colville will tell you that D&D has started, which I'm going to have a tangent about this. Thank freaking God, Matthew Colville, Tortoise Extraordinaire. I finally got my confirmation email for your Kickstarter and the minis. I'm going to appreciate that rogue model because it was supposed to arrive, I don't know, like a year and a half ago when I had a table that I was playing in person with so I could kill them with it. But, you know, that's cool. I'm just going to happy to have it next to my Orcus and my Lolth and my Cthulhu. And they'll sit there and wait until we play in person one of these years. But then I have to remember to buy real dice, and that sucks. Now I can just click a button to do it and click it clack. Anyway, so when we last left our heroes, there will be multiple tangents tonight. Your boy had a coffee. When we last left our heroes, the Seekers of Galanti had a choice to face, really, a difficult decision to make whether or not their group of venturing heroes, their would-be gods at this point. I mean, at this point, right? I mean, we're slowly narrowing towards the idea that a few of you might be looking to become, at least at the minimum, demigods, at the maximum, ascend the thrones that have been empty from the Realm Weavers themselves. And whether or not this group of lucky heroes, we'll say, or demigoddles, I don't know. We need to find a cool term for that because I wouldn't call the party heroes, but that's a thing for another day. Whether or not they would support the Gambit for the Black Ram, a freedom fighter who exists within the heart of Ravon, which actually I have a map here. Within the heart of Ravon. Wait, nope. There it is. Nope, that's the complete wrong one. We're going to do it one of these days. There we go. Within the heart of Ravon, there it is. It's so pretty. All right. We know, of course, having met the Black Ram a long time ago, if you are unfamiliar with it, I think it's like episode 27, somewhere in there. The group was in Wren's Fork far before the days of Celeste and Kobold Jones. They had done battle after uncovering a devious plot by the Black Ram to control the minds of the people of Wren's Fork and slowly use their influence via a small card game by the Sorcerers of the Sea to wrest control from the Ravanan government and the kingship of the Ravan government away and slowly integrate their people into society to thus bring back the lands under the correct rule, or so they say, of the giant kin and folk of the natural order of Ravon. Having mixed feelings on the subject due to a unfortunate death by one totally not Colt Honeycutt, some other guy who we will never know the true identity of, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. Ooh, a lot to get out, isn't it? The group had decided to speak in confidence among one another before making their decision. In doing so, a plucky goblinoid man named Orville had decided to utilize his Lichborn gift to view into the ethereal and realize that the walls, floor, ceiling, and everything else entitled to this small area was very much alive. And in doing so, decided to test just how alive this wood was, breaking with a natural 20, which is super dope, breaking a large hole within the walls of the inn they were staying within, then triggering the guardianship of Thule itself, the very heart of Thule. The Grove Keepers, either tendrils or minions, we're not 100% sure, we'll figure it out together, no big deal. And thus being put on trial for a crime which he technically committed but didn't realize was as harsh as he had thought it was. After some discussion, the group was at a loss for what to do, decided instead to at least follow through, give a final decision, and receive instructions from their contact, Maeve, who works on the behalf of the Black Ram. And after deeming it necessary that someone of diplomatic intent get involved, Bartholomew Iridan offered to fly out into the heart of Thule and meet with the Grove Keeper and attempt to make a case for Orville's safety and returning him to the party. Meeting a cleric, talking about love, having a conflicted ideal about whether or not it is better to let somebody return their memories to a terrible life and a million hardships, or allowing them a pleasant reminder within a fantasy through which they have no control over. A lot of ethics questions in the last episode, folks. Go rewatch it. It's a lot of talking, kind of fun. Oh, we now bring our story back to where we ended last episode. Dun dun dun. Orville, you have just stepped out of a blooming, blossoming flower. Return to your friends holding a small care package of items that have been returned to you. through your time spent in captivity among the small folks of Thule, and your one liaison or contact there within named Artemi. With that group, you exit the church, having a deep discussion about what to do with Warden Casca, and Orville has returned under mysterious circumstances. JJ, you've just cast the sending spell to Bartholomew Iridan, which unfortunately does not seem to have gone through. There's definitely the feeling that your spell has failed. And that is where we left off. Did I get it in one? Probably not, but you know what? I felt good about it, and I hope you felt good about it too.
Now, I really don't want to worry anybody because we don't know exactly what's going on. But that spell to Buddy did not go through. He could just be in like a room or somewhere that, can't receive those kind of things. But I do not have contact with Buddy, and I don't think I have a whole lot left for today. So,
Do you think he just had bad signal?
well, that would be the room. There's certain rooms that kind of just block that kind of thing entirely.
He could have denied it too. If he's in some situation where he was told not to take messages.
Potentially, yeah. I don't think I've had someone deny, so it could definitely be that.
You could just deny it? Like if you messaged me right now, I could just be like, nah, not today?
I mean, if you don't respond, you don't know if anything happened.
Yeah, well, like, there's I can usually feel when it, flutters through, but this one, it felt like just a hard cutoff.
Okay, that's potentially very bad. I don't want to jump to conclusions, though. Orville, you didn't see Bartholomew at all?
Nope, not at all. They had me in a cage over some sort of acid, and the only fellow that I talked to that wasn't of the Grove is apparently a murderer. So.
Oh.
You were next to a murderer? Like you...
Yeah.
You're that criminal, huh?
I mean, Celeste, we're all technically murderers.
In our roundabout ways, yeah.
I mean, I don't... do we have to use the hard M?
I mean, we don't have to, but, we don't know the circumstance of that one, and I don't know if we want to judge that.
I prefer the term freedom fighter.
Yes, we are freedom fighters. That's a good one. We'll go with that.
I don't know what killer does, but...
I consider myself a professional manslaughterer.
If Bartholomew did something, I feel like he would have informed us in some ways. Is that stuff all yours? In that, what you're holding right now? He didn't. Is any of it his?
No, that's a good question. DM, can I untie this goodie bag?
Oh yeah, sure. You untie this small. It almost looks like a wooden box that is missing the top. You look, and as you unfurl it, inside is a hastily folded, what looks to be like a document that you had handed over for confirmation earlier. It's been returned to you. There is a large bit of parchment that has been rolled up that holds a golden ribbon across it. There are a number of strange items inside of it, including a very large-looking silver-plated helmet.
We'll,
actually closer to platinum.
I'll set all the items out and then unfurl the mysterious piece of paper.
Oh, sure. 1 second, please. Dude, this, fantasy mix? Apps. Oh, I can't do that. Whoop. Hold on. How do I do this, then? I've got an idea. I does. 1 moment, please, while this DM refreshes, because this DM was not very prepared. But was very prepared, but can't switch things over to do. How would I do?
Put it on a wait screen, then go copy and paste it somewhere else, and
well, that's what I'm gonna
then
do
come
right
back.
We're not doing a wait screen. Wait, well, I guess I could do a wait screen. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Be right back. There we go. I'm not going to leave you guys, but I'm just going to talk the whole time. That way you don't feel so alone, you know? It's no big deal. I'm still right here. We're all still right here. Look at Calibiri. They're smoking. You shouldn't smoke. Great, great, great. All right. There you go. Let me know if you can read that. It should open up to be the right size if you open the attachment. Yeah, that should be good. That is what is inside. And then we will slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Okay, sorry. Good song. Cha cha, real smooth. If it is legible, you can read it if you so like. If not, no big deal.
Oh, it is certainly legible. And let me get some water here.
I'm sweating.
Sweating. Well, yeah, it's 94 degrees in Florida.
Cold.
I can't believe you're cold.
Well, this seems to be a letter, so I'll read it out to y'all. To my dearest friends and allies, I write to you, having followed through on my word to have Orville returned to you. You no doubt have questions related to the terms of such an arrangement, but I fear I do not have enough parchment or ink to go fully into the details. Despite to say, the walls that have been built this town, the walls that have built this town are all interconnected to the great tree itself, and in breaking and threatening the safety of it, the crime was truly a grave one. From my talks with the keeper, I now better understand this place and its laws. A crime was committed, and thus it must be answered for. Please offer my apologies to Mr. Jones for doubting him. I realize now that perhaps I was never much of a diplomat and he had the courage to let me know that directly. I suppose I really was kidding myself all these long years. I also want to thank you, Seekers, truly and dearly. Before I met your group of heroes, I had all but given up on ever escaping the torrent of bad luck that hung over me like a storm cloud, disgraced after years of my chosen profession, and banished beyond the elven realms. Who could foresee someone like me ever being of help to a group as magnificent as powerful as yourselves? Truly, I hold hope in my heart that the salvation of the world rests on your shoulders. I feel this so very much that for what I must do now has come very easily to me. The hope that you have inspired in me fuels me forward towards the path of a greater good. Even as I know what lay ahead now, I want you all to know that this time we have spent together have been the best days of my life, and I wouldn't trade a single second of the joy you have brought. The attendant has permitted my request to have a few things of mine delivered to Orville upon his release. May these items assist you and bring you peace in the days to come. Enclosed with this letter, you will find the following. The helm of the Goose Knight. While it never truly fit me, it was an honor to wear it in battle alongside all of you. My lucky platinum coin. With the help of Morrigan, I found this blessed wealth on the floor of the casino. It had brought me great fortune and luck at the various games, and may it do the same for the rest of you. A deck of strange playing cards for a game I only mostly understand the rules to. I have only won once, but I was assured that people who play this game, the cards are valuable. The set of leather that Miss Lightning bought for me when we had just started our questing. I have made sure to keep it well oiled and in good repair. May it serve the next to wear it well. My coin purse totaling 35 coppers, 18 silver, and 138 gold pieces. Enough to almost retire on. Perhaps the group can make good use of this. My room at the casino holds the rest of my grand fortune. I hid it in my old pair of boots. May it help fund future adventures. Got Charles's teething ring. The newest addition to the team has terrible night terrors and often takes to chewing on his own arms as he sleeps. I'm not sure if he's consciously aware of this habit, but once he's asleep, I set it near him and he tends to utilize it instinctually. A key ring with collected keys to my family home, someplace in Deerwood given to me after helping in the West Edge, and to the cold storage at the Sea Salt and Sunday Saloon. If you could find it in your hearts to return it for me, I'm sure it's sorely missed. And finally, my diary and sketchbook. It's mostly just poorly practiced works, but the binding is real owlbear leather. Could be a great trade with somebody down the road, or be useful kindling for a fire to keep warm up north. I wish that I had a bit more time to say to each of you just exactly how special each and every one of you have made me feel. While I have a small regret of not being able to see this strange and bizarre adventure to its end, I carry that hope with me, knowing the ending you will write shall be a happy one. I know I love you, Seekers of Gulanti, now and forever. Respectfully yours, Bartholomew Buddy Eridan.
In the box, you find the items mentioned in the letter, as well as the paperwork you handed over, Orville.
I'm gonna miss that idiot.
He's honestly too good for any of this. Always has been. Well, we can't let him down, can we?
I mean, I think that we could have done anything, and it would have made him proud. So, I think technically, no, we can't let him down.
If you don't mind, Orville, could I hold on to that sketchbook?
I don't mind at all.
JJ will gently take the sketchbook.
You can add Bartholomew Eridan's sketchbook to your inventory. Probably as a custom item would be a good idea. Charles will step up and look at the pile of items, and look at the group, and then slowly inch towards the teething ring and goes,
I don't have a teething problem, but I'll take this so no one has to take it. Yep. It's kind of stupid anyway.
and will take the teething ring and tuck it into his very tiny little thimble of a backpack.
Guess I'll take that key ring and see about getting that one returned.
Add Bartholomew's keyring to your inventory. Contains several keys.
We don't think he's dead, right?
I definitely think he's dead.
Or in whatever their prison is.
But I
A
mean,
wedding. Yeah.
There's a lot of gravity to that.
Mm-hmm.
Very least, I don't think we'll be seeing him anytime soon.
No.
To also hand over his diary and sketchbook, a thing that he did not even want us to look in, as he was working on some rather beautiful pictures.
Well, I guess the good thing is that death is not the end. He's probably up in Goose Heaven right now, getting honked at.
Oh, JJ, what's his last entry?
JJ will flip through and see what the last thing that he wrote was.
Sure. You flip through all the way to the back for Bartholomew's journal. You note that there are a number of blank pages intermittent between long, laborious sketches in various state of finishing. All the way towards the kind of the back, there are things written on like the inside cover. There are things written on like the very back page. You actually look, and it seems to be in the very last page of this diary is a column, like a T-chart column, that has every person in the group's name on it with little hatch marks underneath each person's name. There's truly no rhyme or reason to it, but there seems to be varying amounts for each person. As you flick through further into the back, the last actual journal entry lists from last night. It states and details what was going on at the time from his experience, and lists out that the Seekers of Belanti have been, well, entreated upon by a rather curious individual, a horned woman, or horny woman, not sure the way to say that, perhaps it's offensive. Anyway, to work with the Black Ram, a freedom fighter for the glory of Ravon. I'm not sure that Ravon doesn't have freedom, but I am rather curious as to why it's worth fighting for. Regardless, it seems like something very important they want to do, so I hope to support them in this endeavor, however I can. I'm honestly shocked that I'm still hanging around at this point. It's curious, in fact. Just the other day, I managed to slay a harpy. Can you believe that? Me, slaying a harpy. Well, here's to more harpies. That was a great day.
If you want, you can read it, but it's just a recounting of the day's events yesterday.
But like, maybe he's not dead. Maybe we could just free him. Maybe.
Spell to send failed. We could try. I'm actually going to go try something. Excuse me for a moment. And Val's gonna head back into the church. Just ask the father to use one of the praying pews.
Sure.
And she's gonna go in there and kneel down and take the amulet of the Huggy Bear.
Mhm.
And just, that's a awesome Huggy Bear. I have not asked you for anything since taking on your faith. Right now I pray to you for a single answer. Is Bartholomew Irridin alive?
Go ahead and roll religion.
A penguin gave my first roll a natural 20.
Oh, that's fair. I hadn't seen that. I saw the redeem, but I forgot.
He posted in chat afterwards. He forgot to
Gotcha.
enter it.
Okay. Well, you can't enter it. That's the fun part. If you redeem fate, it is the next D20 rolled, which is the curious thing.
Okay.
But it is the first D20.
So that would have been mine.
Yes, correct. Pretty sneaky, Shabs. I did see the redeem come through, and I was like, that's really early, so it could be anybody. Yeah, that's fine. So with a natural 20 gifted to you from a very shabby penguin, thank you, shabby penguin in the audience. You hear a soft groaning sound.
I can see. This is my prayer voice. How's it coming through? Is it ominous?
It's I mean, you could use a little bit more, maybe drawing out longer. It's very direct right now.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna take it from the top.
Right.
I can see things. Is that good? Better? Worse?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Still workshopping it. Is Bartholomew Arden alive? I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I haven't been able to look at that guy. Well, it's always been painful to look at him because you know his face. But
Yeah.
no, ever since he got that scary sword, I kind of haven't been able to really know what's going on. I mean, not like I would ever care about that, scumbag or whatever that I hung out with.
Yeah.
But sometimes when a demon's bored and he wants to terrorize a mortal elf, sometimes maybe you just want to look up an old friend, see how they're doing. And yeah, I can't do that. So yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. I appreciate you trying. It's
You
difficult.
you like to think that when you're gone, that people will remember you, and that maybe they leave the line open for you. But I guess demons aren't good friends. I mean, gods. I mean, harvest people. Whatever.
I think of you as a good friend and God.
You do?
Yes, that's why, I wanted to support you in this effort.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate you answering me and trying to help. It's the best you can do. It's the best any of us can do.
Yeah. But if you see him though, break his knee for me.
I probably will, honestly, if
Great.
he's alive right now and he comes back and just fair, deal.
All right, deal. I'll give you like a thing for it. I don't know.
Sure.
All right, cool. I'm still learning this whole deity business, but I got it.
I mean, it's spreading. We saw the folks in Grim Village. They seem to be liking you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, hey, if a giant muscular preacher shows up, maybe don't let him figure out you're a demon. Though he
What?
definitely likes violence, so I think he'll agree with you on a lot of things.
Giant muscular preacher guy.
Yeah.
That
There's
does
a lot
not
of black.
Wears a lot of black.
Yeah.
Is it-
Duskin.
Duskin.
Yeah.
Duskin.
We met him in the mountains. He said he was heading to Deerwood, so.
Question.
Yeah.
Raving lunatic.
Yeah.
Big fancy hat.
Yeah.
Uses like a hammer type deal.
Big flaming hammer, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna murder that dude.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Don't tell JJ. But I'm gonna mobilize her people. Probably to kill that Duskin guy. Yo. Follower
Are we
God
sure we don't want to
privileges.
tell?
No, don't tell her. I'll be real mad.
Are you sure she'll be mad?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put her grandpa on like the front line.
Okay, she's she's,
He's really scrappy for like 100.
He's immortal, right?
He thinks he's immortal, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like the same thing, right?
I mean, confidence.
Yeah, I mean, if you think like you're the world's best lover, then like you'll never disappoint anybody. Same concept, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that checks out.
Thanks. Okay. I know I count on your voice.
You're welcome, Great Huggy Bear.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Do well in my name. Convert others. Love with both arms. Kill with both arms. And say 5 Hail Vaslers. And all will be well, my daughter.
And so I shall.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I'm kidding. I'm still here in your brain because like this is like a weird spiritual moment. So I'm still watching you, but I'm gonna mute you. Kind of. I'm like, I kind of have like a small visual reminder of all. It's very difficult to understand. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.
You feel your connection sever from the small demon named Vasler.
He talks way too much. Told me way too many things. Oh, you can still hear me. Don't tell me so much next time.
I don't
Damn
talk
it.
to
And then Bell will return. This probably took a little bit of time.
Yeah, you come back several minutes later with insight.
So I prayed to our friend. Apparently he hasn't been able to see Bartholomew for a while because of the sword, so he couldn't tell me anything more.
Very interesting. Well, the only thing that I can think of past this is that Duskin did say, although I'm not quite sure that I believe it, that the preacher here owes him something, so we could see if perhaps we could get a note back to Bartholomew, maybe. See if we can cash in that favor just to let Buddy know. That we
Pretty
know.
sure that Buskin was a complete liar and that he, in fact, owed the preacher something.
Yeah, but then you paid that off and he said he'd do something for you.
Yeah, he gave me this sweet water, and I'll jingle it around.
Yeah.
Vial of holy water.
I would like to know if Bartholomew is alive or dead, but I don't want to march down there, because I do have to respect what he's chosen to do.
Mm-hmm. Also have to respect this town as well at this point.
Yeah.
Not to push it along, but I think that we do need to settle ourselves up, get whatever we feel we need for this next bit, and get ourselves a move on, because we are now on a time schedule, ×2.
Yeah.
Hold on, where are we going?
We sent to you, we were going to agree. Sorry, we didn't inform you. We'll talk about it in private when we get inside a hut or something on the way, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the matter that we discussed, we learned more details in about a month-ish.
Month and a half, I think, is what we talked about.
Yeah,
just
I'm trying to be
because...
vague in case anyone's listening.
Oh, true. Yeah. But anyways, we gotta get a move on to our next destination, and then we gotta go to the fighting tournament, and then make it back over this way, kind of.
Alright, get my mind back on track. Celeste, how often can you summon that bear? DM,
Well-
how often can she summon that bear?
I mean, it really comes down to how often Celeste wants to summon the bear. I don't have a lot of control about that, except, the rules, which say it can only be summoned once every 5 days.
Okay, so both of them are about a week. So we need to purchase something to pull our cart, because I doubt Jones wants to take us all the way to the lift.
That's a long way. I could do it, but shouldn't.
It's also uphill leaving Thule, just so we're all clear. And he is a size small creature, regardless of swollenness. The wheels are bigger.
Do we want to see if we can buy some rams or something?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'm gonna also put on Buddy's helmet.
You slide on the helmet. You hear a soft, almost like a collection of spring water, like a babbling brook, go through on the very edge of your hearing, and you can hear the soft honking of geese in the distance. If you
Alright,
would
I'm
like
ready
to
whenever you
attune
guys
to it,
are.
you can.
I will. Alright, I'm ready now. Let's go find those rams. And then whenever I have free time, I'll attune to it.
Gotcha. So headed off to a general store or stable?
Yeah. And I guess first go check that we can get our cart. It hasn't disappeared.
Yeah, no, no reason for it to have disappeared. It was under protection from the evening.
Okay.
Still parked outside the inn. You all easily can make way. You would have to have Cobble Jones drag your cart outside of the city of Thule. But there is a small stable near Thule's gates. At that stable, they do sell a wide variety of creatures of burden. Some horses, some larger ram, and even oxen, surprisingly enough. But there are a variety of animals that are there. Curiously, there are also a pair, only two in the entire stable, of these very large black and kind of like Icarus green colored lizards that seem to be about the size of two horses each. So they're rather huge lizards. As
Would
you
they be better at pulling than the big ox or ram?
Size huge creatures, even if they have lower strength, have a higher carrying capacity. They would be better for carrying things and pulling, rather than lifting. So if you were looking for something that is individually strong, an oxen or a ram would likely be better. If you're looking for something that has an innate ability to do better, like a one kind of creature deal, one of these lizards might be your go-to for it.
Do these lizards seem to be friends?
Oh, go ahead and give me an animal handling.
I got a nat 20 for a 21.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You pick up a few things with a natural 20 in animal handling. Are you trained in animal handling, or is this just a raw check?
No, it's just a.
You just raw dog in that check.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. Word, heard. You're not 100% familiar with the habitats and rituals of lizards. The one thing you can tell is there's like a lot of like animosity between the two lizards. They seem to nip and snap at each other. And it seems as if their cages have been set, or like their stables have been set far enough away from each other so that they can't get at each other for whatever reason. But every so often, one of them turns and spits a like Icarus slime in the direction of the other one. You can hear it sizzling against the wood. And you can actually see like several spots where this slime has melted away parts of the wood. And they seem to be in a bit of a spitting contest between one another. As you do note, however, while they are at war, there's something further about that. As you kind of like lean to look and get a better estimation of that, a person sets their hand on your shoulder and goes, "Yeah, I remember my first lizards. They're in heat. They can't wait to get at each other. Just how it is." As you turn and look, you see this individual. Part of their face having heavy scarring. Actually, I'll slide it over here. Oh, I can't slide it over here. That'll go behind it. Let's go to this, and then we're going to do one of these. Whoop. Credit to the person who said that all this is for use. So thank you. Thank you, Tater. So, with that, you see this individual with their half-melted face. They look to you and go, "Are you all looking to buy something, or are you just window shopping for new pets?"
No, I think we're looking to buy. These lizards are really cool. What are they called?
They are very cool. Those are known as Orskath lizards. They're actually a subspecies of underground lizards that they've come around a long way. And I happen to fall into their ownership as a group of individuals were looking to leave the north. They're some of the finest steeds you can find this side of Orskath.
Are they easy to handle?
Absolutely not. A very dangerous animal. Carnivorous, in fact. But it could be a good thing in the event that you are accosted on the road, or, well, I'd imagine if you ever want to take up the time-honored tradition of kart racing, well, then your mount could eat their mount. Give you an advantage.
You said they're in heat?
Oh, very much so. They just want to get at each other and, well, melt down the entire building. And then, of course, lay a hatch of eggs.
Are they gonna go after my scaly better half over here, or is he safe?
Oh, goodness. And she turns and looks and sees Cobalt Jones and goes, bit small, might be a snack. I don't know. Maybe something for after the event.
That's
I
what
think
they
so,
call
too.
me.
The snack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you, Mr. The Snack. Either way, these lizards are a fine stock and breed. They could be yours, because I'm looking to separate them, if you'd be so kind. That way they kind of calm down and mellow out a bit. I'd give you the deal of the day, 185 gold pieces, sold your way. I'd even let you take the female. That way, if you do find another one, you could raise your own stock of Orskathian lizards.
Are any of us good at handling animals?
I am.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. You're gonna go on the 2-month adventure with us, huh?
Oh, if you'd like me to, sure. I could give you my base salary. If you just, I could sell off the rest of these animals. That'd be great. What sort of venture is it?
What's your base salary?
My base salary currently is 10 gold pieces a day.
Okay, I can't afford that, so
Ah, very good then. Well,
Okay.
sorry.
let me see.
It's not that bad.
I mean, I guess. Realistically, I mean, if you're gonna put a percentile on it, 2 months of adventuring, 10 gold a day. With our adventure, I mean, really, we'd probably only spend like 200 gold at max. I mean, just like think about how much shit's gone down in the past month.
Yes,
So do
there
we-
would be
do we
bonuses,
want-
definitely.
Do we want the lizards? Or do I?
Is that-
You know, I was gonna say maybe we get something a little more beginner friendly.
I've got a
You
donkey.
know,
No, I think that might be too much.
A donkey's
Uh,
too much? Well,
Yeah.
don't worry then, young
Yeah.
man. I think I've got exactly something your speed then. She'll walk the far end of the stable, come back with a large book. Just, this is a pop-up book, A to Z for animals. Now, it's a little scary once you get to H, but I think you can handle it. 2 gold pieces, yours today.
I'm definitely paying the 2 gold and I'm snatching the book.
All right. She takes
Hell
the
yeah.
2 gold. You have an animals A to Z book, and it is a pop-up book.
Now, I do want to ask the DM here,
Mhm.
would the ram or ox be better for the perceived journey ahead?
Trained in nature, so we won't make you roll. You would pursue, depending on how you want to do it, right? So you know one will take more food than the other, right? The ram will be better if you guys intend to do more mountainous terrain. If you're just looking to go through the White Wilds, and through to like the Frozen Lake, Frozen Lake the Frigid Well, and then back up to the Highlands, the oxen are probably going to be the best because it's a lot of plain, flat terrain and snow to trudge through. But it just depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you guys end up wanting to take like a path through the Sky Peaks to get back, you're going to wish you had, rams. But
Are the rams bad? Like, do they have less endurance or something like that for going through the strait?
They tire quicker is their bigger thing. They're more agile to pull, but oxen are meant to pull. Also, in the event one dies, oxen are typically more valuable than rams.
I'm very down to pay half of this salary here, just to have us a driver.
Yeah, is it? No one is scared with animals, correct?
you know.
I can, like, make do, but I'm not, like... It was not part of my training. I know a lot about them, but I don't particularly like animals, so... I will say, though, that for our intended purposes, we could just get 2 ox, and that should do most of the work. They're better at what we're planning on doing. If we have to make some sort of like an emergency route, the rams would be better. But if it's in a couple days, we'll have our bear, and that might be good enough to do like an emergency thing.
How well do the rams and oxen handle in the hands of those not so skilled with animals?
Well, the ram will be a bit more ornery than the oxen ought to be. The oxen are a bit docile, so if you don't have a way to get them up in the morning and get them moving, might slow you down at least in the early mornings of the day. But once they get going, they pretty much just follow themselves. Got to guide them here and there.
Are oxen normally trained to do this, or is it just like they're pretty straightforward? It's not like a horse, like a war horse or something. It's more just like a.
Correct. These are beasts of burden. Typically, you'd want somebody who is a bit more versed in exotic animals to care for these creatures. They do require a lot of maintenance, combing, feed, hygiene of various sorts. I mean, if you all are true green-eared beginners, then I do have just a couple of draft horses I could sell you. You just seem to be the well, shall we say, venturous type.
What is the fastest or would travel the most ground in a day?
The fastest and would travel the most ground in a day that I own, or just in general?
Yes.
That
That you
I
own. Do you have for offer here?
Now that is a question. Well,
Likely through the fields and the snowdrifts, not the
sure.
mountains at this point.
So she looks at you, and there's definitely an up and down look from her one eye, and you see that her eye stops on your missing arm, and goes, "You don't seem like city guard, so I think I can be straight with you.
Sure.
I've got a special item that came in not too long ago. Now, if you can get over the compassion of it, it'd be the fastest animal that could possibly pull you along."
Compassion?
Yeah, well, you see, it's a bit of an intelligent sort of creature that may or may not need convincing to be around your people, but I have tamed the beast, and very much so have it under control of sorts, and I'll be able to provide those methods of opportunity for you and your friends. For adequate compensation, of course. But if you want the fastest creature, I definitely can provide that to you.
And you say you have control over it?
Oh, well, currently, but I can provide that to you.
What kind of creature?
Well, I can't rightly say out here in the Weaver's bright sunlight, but if you would like to follow me into the back room, I would be very happy to show you what we have on offer, sir.
Alright.
Very good. Is anyone not going to see what thing is in the back room?
I want to stay and watch the lizards, please.
Okay. Yeah, you stay and watch lizard. Every so often, one crawls up on the side of their wooden cage and does the tongue thing. And the other one kind of looks and shudders and hisses and then spits a little bit more bile and this acid at it.
I will also stay in the lizard area. And during this time, can I make an investigation or other kind of roll to see if the lizards or Kobold Jones smell more like a lizard?
Ooh, that's fair. Give me an insight check. I'll say it's
You
an
got
insight
it.
check.
Has a total of 13.
Roll of 13. All right, fair enough. Looking over, looking over it, these lizards smell much more lizardy than Kobold Jones. Kobold Jones, unfortunately, has been altered in a weird way, by his time among civilized folk. While these lizards are just straight up from the underground.
All right, fair enough.
All right. So, with that being said, you all arrive into this back room. The door shuts. You see them lock the door, having used a key from within their outfit to kind of lock things away. You see a number of covered cages, in which you hear rattling of various different cages, housings, containers, and the like, all kind of tapping on the gates. Then you start to hear a snarl and a roar in the back of this area. In doing so, make sure I have this here. Yes. You come into view of a very large cage, one that is likely meant to house something more akin to a very large oxen or buffalo of the sort. And you can see two different carcasses that sit on either sides of the cage. They've been cleaned down to the white bones, and strangely, their bones have been particularly well organized. Looking it over, you can see a looming black shadow in the center of this cage, and a soft kind of guttural roaring seems to emanate out from the depths of this. You hear this individual kind of call out and go, "Tibowix! Oh, Tibowix, I've got interested people here, Tibowix. Come on, show yourself." You see slowly as the shadow forms back in and folds on itself, and darkness kind of alleviates itself from the room, and these black, piercing eyes seem to radiate out like burning coals from him. A large, heavy paw slams down, and then another paw as well. And you see this, what appears to be a wolf, except it is the size of about a small school bus that slowly slides forward, and you see its jowls open up and drool drip from the sides of them, its teeth gnarled, twisting, and crooked in various ways. And you can hear, if anyone speaks in the current group, Goblin. You can hear,
What foul, horrible things are these?
Kobold Jones with the helmet attached and attuned. You do understand Goblin.
Name's Kobold Jones. Nice to meet you, sir.
And kind of looks over and sniffs, and at the bars, like, moves and immediately like slams a clawed hand onto it. Just, now, that's a bit rude. Anyway, old Tibby here can be yours today, fastest creature that I own currently, for the low price of 1,100 gold pieces. I'll even provide you the command ring for them.
With the command ring, will they still be behaved if we take them into some other city, or?
Oh, I think they would be on the best behavior. Isn't that right, Tibby? You hear this.
Name's not Tibby, it's...
Now, and she raises a hand, and you see a soft, faint glow. There is a burn around the sides of its neck, and it slowly lowers its head and hisses. She goes, "There we go. That's a good Tibby." You hear,
Tibby will be good.
He seems a bit ornery.
"Oh, that's just Cole getting used to. He's a little prickly, but you'll adapt just fine."
Is there anything that stops Tibby from eating you?
Oh, yeah, just tell him not to. While wearing the ring, of course. And, of course, you can, of course, just set very basic, rudimentary things, such as do not eat person's name, and then introduce that person to Tibby, and that'll be a standing order, and the ring will activate to make sure your orders are followed. I see there's a little bit of doubt in your mind. Not to worry. We'll follow through. She turns back and she goes, "Tibby, Dancy boy." And you see the ring softly glow, and he goes,
No, Dancy boy, no.
He goes, "Dancy boy." And you see the neck kind of flare and burn. There's hissing. And it slowly raises up this tall, looming, huge creature, paws in front of itself, and it slowly hops left and right on its hindquarters, and then slowly sits back down. She goes, "You can even set command words."
Alright, guys, I think we should buy this thing. I don't have enough gold for it, but I'm sure somebody does.
We should buy this creature.
Yeah.
Are you agreeing, or is that hesitation, JJ?
It's a smidgen of hesitation. It seems again a little more intermediate to advanced.
It's,
Oh. Nothing could be simpler so long as you can follow vocal commands. So can Tibby.
Does it understand what other people say, or just what the ring wielder says?
Oh, yes, if the ring is on your finger, Tibby can understand every word you say. Isn't that right, Tibby? You see it. Go ahead, give them a tap. It taps its claw.
Care and food requirements.
Same as any other creature of that size. Is an omnivore, so of course will eat whatever you throw their way. Prefers still living, if possible, but not necessary. I could load you up for a couple months worth of rations, but they'd be the same kind of rations you all would eat, just in higher quantity. I think it'd be about a 3-to-1, based on body weight, of course. Tibby's a little chunky
Right.
boy, isn't he?
Tibby's not chunky.
Oh, he gets a little offended when I call him chubby.
How much for the rations?
Well, that would just be base off of what I can bring in from the city nearby of Thule. I believe there are a couple silver pieces for a standard ration, but they'll eat people food. You don't have to have any special dietary requirements for them. Which, of course, means if Tibby has to go the way of, goodbye now, all the food you'd have would be perfectly edible by you and your team.
All right. Yeah, I think we should take them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just on the speed alone? Like, you sure?
It seems like a good package deal.
Oh, well. If you're adamant about it, I'm willing to throw in some for it, but I don't have enough on me for the whole price. Do we want to check with Orville and Celeste? Make sure they're good on...
Yeah. And,
Has it been speaking? I can't quite tell.
Yeah, it's speaking Goblin. Wait, actually, do I know it's Goblin, or do I just understand
You just
it?
understand it, yeah. The helmet
Yeah,
gives you the ability to understand animals and people.
Huh. So 1100.
1,100 gold pieces, yep.
How much?
JJ, yay, nay. Go check with Orville and Celeste. Make sure they're good on this.
Yeah, I would like to check with them. I'm not sure if this is quite it. I don't know. I think it's a little exorbitant.
I mean,
But
if we get anything else, if we get the lizards per se, I think we would want to hire. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Oh, it is of no consequence here. Of course, I understand not everyone is a busybody that can truly understand meeting certain people. My name is Rihanna.
Rihanna, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Bellathil.
Nice to meet you, Miss Belfield.
But yes, I mean, if we're going to go with the lizards, I almost feel like we have to have interest in hiring you on as well. Just to have a specialist. Your fee seems reasonable to me, so, or if we would take one of the oxen, certainly I think we could manage one of them on our own.
Well, perhaps.
Jones, you know.
All right. Well, I guess let's go ask everyone.
Yeah, sure. It's
We'll be right back if you don't mind.
Of
Rion.
course, please take your time. You all
And then I'll head
exit
up.
from the back room. You hear cages rattle. Is anyone other than I know Cobalt Jones does now? Does anyone speak Sylvan? No. You hear like giggling laughter from a few of the cages. Cobalt Jones, you translate this to like, help, please help, please, don't rub. And you exit from the back room. She turns and locks
Is
it.
it too dark? Is it too dark to see that?
Yeah, it's
as we
like dark
walk
and
by?
it's like palely illuminated by these like strange purple lanterns in the back of the room. Plus, many of these cages are covered with like various forms of cloth and curtains.
Okay. So Rian followed us out, right?
Yeah, she follows you out and locks the door behind her.
I'll go over to the lizard area, I guess, and
Sure.
see the
Cel-
two oglers.
Celeste is like this. Full up against the cage. The lizards are hissing and snapping at each other and within a few inches of Celeste's face at this point, every so often.
Hey guys, so there's this like really huge, cool wolf down there, and then I'll also try to, if Rian's not in earshot, I'll be like, and also, it's not really being cared for super well, and I think that we could maybe save it and give it a better life, and it would help us out probably a lot. But it is 1,100 gold, so we need someone to finance it.
What if it just
Eh.
runs off?
I mean, we have the command ring, right?
I thought you were talking about freeing it from that. Like, okay,
No, I just mean like not making it dance or
getting out of
Um,
here.
yeah, that person
Okay.
does not
Gotcha.
care about it at all. I mean, I don't really like animals, to be honest, but I'm not like that.
I'll be honest. I think it's very cute.
I think it's interesting, but if we're gonna play with the idea that what she's doing isn't, the
It
best,
also
then I'm not
organized its
sure.
bones. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm not
So
sure if
respectful.
keeping it under the command ring is the right thing in the first place either.
Yeah, how intelligent did it seem, Jones? You said you could understand it?
Yeah, I don't know what. I mean,
You can speak.
hang on. Let me So, yeah, no, I mean, he spoke to me in Draconic, so.
Huh.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I got this straight. It's cute, is a good listener, and it's starving down there and needs our help.
It's not starving. It had food.
Not starving, it's not cute,
It's
but
very
it does
cute.
need our help, and it is vicious. And also, I lied because of the new rules. I don't have Draconic, and it spoke to me in Dwarven.
That's all true. Cobalt's not getting Draconic is the goofiest thing in the world. Love it.
You just get to choose your language or
Mhm.
whatever, so I figured with my.
We wouldn't want to
Backstory.
imply that you have Draconic parents or anything. That'd be very uncouth of
Yeah.
us in 5th edition.
I came out of a dwarf.
Yeah, of course. Congratulations, it's a kobold.
My parents got a divorce immediately after.
There were some questions that could not be answered. 2 dwarven parents give birth to a kobold child.
Yeah, an egg.
I'm not even going into it. We're not doing it. Not tonight,
The thing
Sadie.
is, you want to get it out, but then still keep it under
Yeah.
domination, which I think is that the. I'm getting some vibes, JJ.
That's the strange, or the thing that's got me kind of caught up is it really better if we keep it under command as well?
I mean, I think that there's different levels of like humiliation that comes with master owner or master, slave type situations here.
Yeah, but you see, that's the key word you just said there, which is slave.
Sure, but I mean, there's also a part that if we release this thing, who knows what kind of mayhem and destruction it'll cause.
Yeah, but do you want to own a slave? That's the question right now.
Well, it definitely is like a little bit of like a gives me a little bit of a complex because my people are traditionally slaves, to the dwarves even, but I
Yes,
think it
Liz.
would offer it a better life.
Question: can't we just get the cute, cuddly, good listening thing, and then also just get whatever else we need, just in case it doesn't work out?
Considering how large it is, I don't know. Would multiple? I mean, it would be like one thing in front of the cart, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially this thing is like size huge. It would
So we'd have
fit.
to trail something else
Yeah, two.
behind, or someone else would ride it.
Correct. Yeah.
To be
also,
honest, too,
oh, sorry. I will say this. Base insight, not kidding when they say this is faster than any other animal in this place.
Yeah.
By
A
a margin.
replacement isn't going to keep up.
Go ahead, JJ, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. My bad. I also do want to bring up. I think she'd mentioned this thing eats quite a bit, as well. I think she said 3 times what we eat, at least.
Yeah, but considering how our travels go, I wouldn't be surprised if we found other things on the way for to eat, but we would have to stock up a bit of rations.
How much would 2 oxen eat?
How much would 2 oxen eat?
Yeah.
Let's find out together.
Do we need 2 oxen, or we just need 1?
I mean, you
Probably
could get
need to.
2, but you could always have 1 if you would like. Depends on how much you tend to haul with your
How many
oxen.
wagon tongues do we want to buy?
Yeah, exactly. That's the other big thing. So oxen eat 40 pounds of feed a day, which works out to be about 2 silver a day.
Okay, so it would be cost us 50% more to have the big guy.
The big guy would be 6 silver a day, right?
Yep.
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
again, if you guys are eating rations, like rations tend to be
5 silver.
5 silver
each.
apiece. So it would cost you $1.50 a day to keep this person fed.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Quite a bit more.
Yeah. Whereas you can buy like literal corn grain, and you could just still buy corn grain for this creature, but I mean they will eat anything according to the seller. Just
Oh, it
depends
doesn't
on-
have a choice.
Correct. Very much so. Now you're learning.
I don't know. I guess
That's
it's
fine.
not that big of a deal. I just don't have the gold, so it's not going to be me who makes the.
My only point is
well.
that if we're buying it to have it have a better life, we're still not setting it free, which isn't exactly better for a creature that is intelligent.
So it can talk. So why don't we just ask it if it would be willing to help us get to where we're going, and then, like negotiate, and then just maybe we could let him go once we're done utilizing his friendship.
As much as I would love to think that we can garner its friendship, also the thought of something that needs a command ring to obey folks is concerning. And just, I'm not sure if it would willfully just follow us, no matter what kind of deal we struck.
All right, I guess 2 ox it is. How much for the ox?
Sure. Back here. Let me check my prices. Each ox will run 130 gold pieces.
JJ will cover the ox.
How much faster do we know how much faster the other creature runs compared to the ox?
You would need to identify what the other creature is. Most of you know what an ox is, I would assume. It's in Cobble Jones's big pop-up book of animals under O.
Wait, is it an ox or is it an otter?
Oh, an ox. There's no otters in here. I'm sorry.
What would it be to identify for my
Knowledge,
character?
knowledge Arcana.
I will roll that then.
Go right ahead.
JJ will roll it too.
Go right ahead. One of you can roll at advantage.
Go ahead, Belle.
All right, there we go. Save the dice rolling.
That will be an 18.
18. Yes. Thinking on it now, you do recognize the creature. You know this to be a creature that is often summoned by goblinoid cultists, and there's been a long history of creatures such as this appearing from within the depths of the Feywilds. This creature is often summoned by goblin cultists to ride into battle, command forces, or even start entire wars of devastation and cruelty. They are known as a Barghest. You know, particularly, this seems to be a greater Barghest, and you'd estimate that its land speed would be something around 60 feet per move action. It has the ability to dash, so it would be able to move about 180 feet per 6 seconds. Which, of course, puts it... Where are we at here? My brain is shutting off really hard. What's that? 100 and... Yeah, so... Goodness, I don't even know how many miles an hour that is. Math is hard.
20.
About 20 miles, right?
20 miles an hour, yeah.
Yeah, so about 20 miles an hour. An oxen, for comparison, has a move speed of 25 feet per move action, with no dash.
So it would be double moving every time for 50 feet.
Correct.
Slow and steady. Or the hare.
Or super fast alpha predator. You also have an 18. Yeah. I will say you can ask 4 questions about Barghest if you are not familiar with them.
Are they good at following? I'm not asking the question for it. I'm asking you guys. Are they good at following a trail for hunting potential generals?
Sure, I'll ask that.
You know that they are trained in efforts of survival, and they actually can track anything that they've smelled the blood of over distances, both in the material and ethereal planes.
Okay. How intelligent are they?
You would know. They are nearly twice as smart as the average villager. Many of them can think of complex maneuvers by themselves. Two questions left.
What is their creature type?
They are a fae. They actually, that's a good one. They are also a fiend for the purposes of this. They have 2 types, technically.
Okay.
They classify as both a fae from where their origin is, as well as a fiend under their stat block.
Does anyone else have a question in mind?
I was gonna ask maybe if they're like, are they loyal creatures or even like what their biggest enemy would be?
Yeah, my question was also going to be about how loyal or how well do their deals with goblins or other creatures go, or how do they usually work?
Sure, like loyalty, temperament. How do they negotiate with others?
So I'm hearing general. What about Vargas? Sounds about right. So paragraph you. Tell you the paragraph.
I'm.
I can read it. It's easy.
My question is, what page is it on in the player's handbook?
I
Oh.
don't want to just look it up. It's
That's
also not in the player's handbook.
Also not in the player's handbook. Bland Coldwell Press.
I'm vaguely familiar with this creature, but I don't want to like try and actively remember things
worries.
while I'm like playing a
You
game.
can say, what is the history of a Bargus? And I'll give you the
Sure.
general knowledge
What
of
is
a
the-
Bargus.
Yeah,
Okay.
further detail of the history.
Sure. A Bargus is an evil fae, specifically of the fairy Unseelie courts. They are vaguely humanoid in shape in their true forms. However, their primary form within the material planes is that of a large carnivorous bat-faced wolf. They have known to be able to be altering in size, shape, and demeanor. They can always appear to want to loom over any who face them. They are known within the Fey courts as despisers of life. Bargus reside on the outskirts of most civilizations, lurking in abandoned buildings, alleyways, and the like. Bargus require the souls of living victims to sustain themselves within the material realms, growing more powerful with each unfortunate devoured. Greater Bargus, specifically, are known to have devoured at least 1,000 innocent souls. These foul-minded fae stalk the living in the mortal realms, hoping to gain themselves power, and in their version of immortality within the Unseelie courts, driven by a violent hatred of all living things. Bargus are known as deadly tricksters. They will always attempt to lead their victims astray through the use of their various fae-like abilities. They'll take the shape or make an illusion of someone who could be in distress, call upon their intended victims, and lure them by themselves into the dark before pouncing upon them and devouring them body, mind, and soul.
What a cute kitten!
Mm-hmm.
It is very cute, but it will never agree to us in any active way. It would literally be a servant that we'd be buying. And if anything ever went wrong, it would be very much so trying to devour our everything. Although I don't think any of us are innocent souls. So maybe it would just shrug and go away.
Now that you guys do have the description, the picture of Bargus.
Adorable.
Got big old floppy ears, dog.
Definitely cuter than I expected.
Super cute. Got a little
Super
drool
cute.
problem. Got a pug
I was
problem.
envisioning like a warg, sort of like a bigger warg. But
They kind of
still
are in a way, because wargs are fiend-blooded, which is kind of their country of origin. But yeah, no, Barguses are devilish little bastards from the Fae. And they tend to favor goblins, because goblins are typically agents of chaos.
Can confirm Orville is an agent of chaos. Watch last week's session.
Watch last week's episode.
I think it would be better to buy something more reliable without the complications.
All right, well then I'd say we should just get Ox. And I'll pull
Would
out
the
my book.
Rams be faster?
The Bargus
well,
would be
they-
the fastest.
No, I mean just not including the Bargus.
Oh, sure.
The
Or
the Rams will
Rams
tire.
faster.
they'll tire out faster, so they may be faster off the get, but they won't go as long.
Hmm.
But if we're already paying half this price for animals, why not just hire this lady on?
And buy one of the lizards?
Ma'am, if we hire you, do we also have to buy the animals, or will you provide those?
Well, I would hope that you compensate me for all of my stock.
Yeah, she has to sell all of her animals to go with us.
I thought it was a bit tongue-in-cheek to request that I go with you. I do own a business. But I could have a member of my stable escort you if need be. Maybe under a rental or something of that sort.
And how much would that be a day?
Oh, per day. Not as good as my rate. Maybe say 8 gold pieces a day. You provide of course, you buy the animal, and I'll provide the driver for you.
They can handle these visits?
They would be able to.
Look.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think that even if we brought someone with us that we should get the lizards, because, you know, likely it won't be the lizards that are their undoing, and then we'll be stuck with lizards that we can't control. So if we were going to do something like that, we probably would want something that in a pinch we could handle, and I think ox are pretty easy, comparatively speaking. So I think we should just go with them.
Alright, I'm fine with that.
Oh, okay.
So 260 gold for the 2 ox.
Yep, if you want to buy the 2 oxen.
We probably need some
Got it.
feed too.
So each oxen requires 40 pounds of feed per day. How many days worth would you like? You do know that it is 40 pounds per day. So it would also cut down on the amount that your wagon can carry.
How much is feed again? You said
Feed
2
is
silver?
five copper pieces for 10 pounds.
Okay.
So 2 silver per creature per day.
Mm-hmm. And then this is the weight requirement, which is the bigger conundrum.
Can we not stick feed in the bottom drawer of?
Oh, I guess you
Forever
could do
hold?
that. Yeah, you could. Just back
Slide
it
it
on
out
up to
to
the
thaw.
silo. Yeah, tilt it. Just fill it full of feed. Morgan's morning is pulling 80 pounds of feed out of the box.
Could she just come over and think of the feed, and then just like we bring a small trough with us and
Yeah,
just
you
pour
think-
it out?
You think of the feed per D&D rules, one item of feed is 10 pounds, so you can pull 10 pounds at a time.
Yeah, each is a singular bag.
Each is a bag.
Each night we do it, and we keep a small section in the wagon, and the
It's-
rest of it's inside, and then it can thaw.
If you've ever bought dry dog food, just imagine every morning it's a 10-pound bag of dog food that has to come out of that box. 4 of those.
It would solve any extra size and weight requirements, though.
It would. That is true.
Think we should go for it.
And how long was our travel again? We have about, was it 3 to 5 days to get to where we wanted to go, Riska?
Oh.
One full day was the lift,
Mm-hmm.
and then these are slower than what we've been using.
Correct.
So we're probably adding an extra day-ish of travel. Is that much less than what we've been doing before? We've been going pretty fast with the bear and the bug.
You guys using oxen pulling it, they don't dash, they just move as they go. You would get there safely, but it would be about a day and a half to get to the lift using them. And then following that up to get to Riska would be about another day, almost 2. But they can operate for longer periods of time, so you guys could sleep in shifts while the oxen pull.
What is it, like 120 silver for a month?
Between 2 of them, that sounds about right.
Math checks out.
If we want to buy that much, we also will be in another city where we could restock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this lady has been awful kind host. I don't see why we wouldn't give her the business.
I appreciate you. if you're looking to give me the business, I mean, I'm open to trade offers on anything you might want. Tell you what, we'll give you a think about it. We'll come back in 5 minutes. It is 8:45. I'm sorry, 8:46. We'll come back at 8:51. After the break, we'll come back to finding out the next transportation for the Seekers of Galanti. Stick with us after the break. We'll see you then. Peace in a bit. Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for sticking with us after the break. If you are still on twitch.com/Kareem Zamir, then we thank you so much for sticking with us. You level 20 characters. If you're watching us live on the rebroadcast, which isn't really live, but I want to say you're doing a great job too. Consider tapping that subscribe button, ringing that bell, doing all the stuff, or don't. Just join the Discord. The Discord's way cooler. You get the same notifications, all that fun stuff. We don't want to hit 50 followers or subscribers on YouTube because then I have to stop using copyright and stuff. And that's not great. Typically what it is there's a bunch of playlists that we utilize for background music for the stream that are like, hey, free use, dog. No worries. But then later they sell the rights to those songs that were free use. And then these strange Indian companies like yell at me and go, you're in violation. And I go, that's probably fair. So yeah, there's that. So let's not make that monetized because Twitch is super cool. They'll let you mute the parts. Any hoozle. We come back. The Seekers of Galanti have had a very good kind of shopping venture thus far. Now deciding on their next teen transportation beast of burden thing that will get them to the frozen well. The next leg of their journey and destination towards completing their litany of missions they are so looking forward to. Caesar Galanti, I believe, we're debating a ram versus an oxen at this point. And the fine caretaker, Rianza, has also opened up and said that if there is something that sparks your interest or you are particularly looking for, she is open to trades at this point. Yes, Seekers Galanti, what will you do? I've given you a single choice. I expect it to take 3.5 hours. Thank you. 'Tis the way of D&D. 'Tis the way of things. We Cult of the Lammet. We'll just send people in and be like, it would be really funny if you made them eat poop. Then you make them bowls of poop. It happens. It's fun.
Alright, so Ox.
Yeah, oxen, I think. Most reliable option.
Alright, so you guys are buying a single oxen or 2 oxen or...
I have marked off 2 oxen and then also the few days of food as well.
Okay, so a month's worth of food is what it was?
Yep.
Okay. Easy enough to do. You guys collect up your gold pieces and things of the sort. Your saleswoman will provide the bit and tackle needed, as well as a long wooden guiding pole to attach at the end of your cart so that both oxen can fit comfortably and pull the cart as you guys so need to. They look it over and speak to you all and go, well, can't say no to a good deal, so thank you all so much for stopping on by, and next time you're through Thule, come see me again. Well, I always have a new rotation of fantastical things.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you very much.
Of course, of course, of course. Well then, be good. May the road rise to meet you and all that.
Before we leave, I'm just gonna go over to the lizards.
Mhm.
Bye, Ricky. Bye, Lucy. Y'all behave. Okay, don't do anything crazy. And if you have babies or you get out of these cages, come find me. Okay? No, Ricky. Lucy is not interested in going out with you tonight. She says she's busy for the 3rd time. Okay? All right. Y'all behave. Bye.
start hissing. You see the caretaker return back. Go, what's got you both worked up so bad? Starts whapping a broom on the edge of their cages to calm the two lizards down that Celeste is now riled up. Yeah, mark your gold off, and you guys are more than able to continue on your journey if you so choose.
We leave. I think we still have one last moral quandary to handle here in Thule. If we want to go and speak to Warden Costco, or just leave her to this life that she's found now. Any thoughts on the matter?
I didn't really know this person, so I can't really say.
I understand that. It's not a matter of knowing them, but you do know the situation that they're in. They have had their mind altered, their memories changed, but are now seeming to live happily. So do we disrupt that or not? To reveal truths that could be disturbing.
How do we know they're really happy without knowing the truth?
Just from the preacher's words, it sounded like she was creating a life here and was moving on from the life she once thought she had. That is what we're disrupting. It involves a child that none of us were aware of, that I assume is probably her real child. Maybe it's not. We don't know.
I mean, I think that knowing her is the important aspect here because, again, if it were me, I would want to know the truth, especially with the pretty limited amount of time. I mean, you know, you can have, like, some bad stuff happen to you, but if you get it figured out in a couple months, I mean, you can get over that, I think. You know, that's not that much time wasted. It's a lot of emotional turmoil, but that's going to be felt either way, is what it sounds like. I mean, grieving for somebody who's not actually your husband's death, I can't think of anything worse. And then that versus knowing that you were manipulated by some sort of mind magic by an evil guy who's dead. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's some sort of closure to happen, knowing that some evil fellow that warped your mind is now dead. At least you can go kick dirt on his grave or what have you. Whereas,
Well, she might want to go and have a rematch with, George. But then again, I think he's interested in that.
ooh, that'd be fun. We could set it up at the casino. Even have people pay to go watch it and take bets on it.
After hours, though, of course.
What about the kid?
I think that's where I'm hung up. I really don't know where the kid comes in or doesn't come in, or how she will react once knowing if the kid's not hers and she just suddenly has the responsibility of this child. You know.
I mean, I know Georgie remembered all the stuff that he did while he was under the effects, so I'm sure she'll figure out whose kid it is. And then, you know, what she's going to do with that is she just stole some random lady's child, or who knows.
Do we want to go and see her, or do we want to just leave?
We did tell her we would stop by if we were in Thule.
What if we go see her, and then if she remembers us, remembers anything pertinent, we see about getting her memory back. But if she seems all sorts of in the here and now, and kid, and what's going on here, we leave her be. Does that sound like a reasonable idea?
I think that's a fair idea. That's actually a great idea, Orville.
Sure.
Well, what do you think?
I wish I'd known her better to have a better understanding of what she would want in this case. About this kid, but I suppose we just have to go and see. Maybe even the child will be able to offer us some insight.
I could also posit it as a question of if she were in the place of someone who had their mind swapped, just to see, a bit of motherly guidance. What she might think or what she might want. If she was in their shoes.
You've expended quite a bit today.
Indeed.
You don't have a dispel?
No,
Or do you?
I do not.
Right. We'd have to take the preacher up on his deal then if we want to get this done today. However much that would cost. I think he quoted a couple hundred. Well, let's go visit a friend.
All right. So heading off then to speak with Warden Casca?
First things first, because I'm not sure if we know where she lives.
Correct.
She would walk back in, because I assume we're still. Oh no, wait, never mind. We're not near there. I was gonna say I'd walk back into the chapel and ask where she lives, but
Yeah, you guys can head back into town if you'd like. Do that. You're just on the outside of the gates right now. What would you like to do? Do the chapel?
Do you guys want me to hang out outside with the ox while you guys go? So they're not alone?
If you want to, I thought we'd just... I guess the road's all pretty thin.
I'm sure that Brienne can hold on to these oxen in our cart here for an hour or two.
yeah, especially if we perhaps pay just a little bit of taking space fee.
Okay. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Can we leave our oxen cart here for a few hours? We just have to run in, grab a quick few things, run a little errand, and be right back.
Oh, well, sure. What do you want to, like, rent a stable to leave them all in? Is that it?
About the ones that they're still in.
Like, you just took them all out and put them on your wagon. I was gonna turn the hay and put them... You just bought those oxen. Those are yours now. They don't live here no more. Either way, 5 gold pieces per oxen, and I'll watch over them for at least a day.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And I will hand her the. You said 15 gold? 5, 10. What'd you say?
I said whatever that first number was. That seems right.
10 gold. How's 10 gold? Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Takes the 10 gold.
I just imagine us taking these 2 ox out of stalls, and she's just immediately ripping off their name badges, like, nah, you don't live here no more.
100%.
Like,
It's got a lot of animals in the back that need houses to sell.
I mean, I guess, but we could also just be like, fuck it, and take the oxes to this lady's house.
Yeah, you also could do that. I don't know what the fuck y'all want to do.
no. I gave her some gold. We're just gonna
That's
leave them
what
here.
I thought
Let's
we were
go.
gonna do, but then you said you wanted to stay outside with them.
What?
I thought we were gonna bring the cart and oxen in to go find her. But then you said you wanted
okay.
to stay outside of the city
No,
with the
it's
oxen.
fine. I just gave her 10 gold. Let's just go. Let's just go talk to this beautiful father person and then just find this other beautiful person.
We also might be able to use our feline friend too. He might know where she's at.
Yeah,
Who knows?
which one do we want to do?
Or we'll produce a silver and flick it up in the air once we're back inside the gates.
Psst, cream.
Yes. Waiting. Sorry. Lots of talk.
Or we'll produce a silver and flick it up into the air once the party makes their way back inside the gates.
Okay. You just. Oh, you're gonna flick it. Gotcha. Okay. I'm like, why? What? I was waiting for the decision. to
That
happen. I didn't
thing
really
you
get
told
hear
us
it.
to do.
Yes. No, not that. I was like, okay, they're debating, they're talking, they're waiting, we got it. Da 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 da. And I'm like, oh no, it's a me thing again. Hold on. My bad. I'm like, we can only go for so long before my brain just goes. Zzz. All right, where are we? Found. Oh, his. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Yay! So once you are inside, the mists of Thule once again enshroud your party and move through. You toss a silver into the air, and a gloved hand reaches out and catches it from the air itself. Stands behind you, Orville. You hear, "Oh, what a good afternoon." Good morning, really. How can Grado assist you, dear Gulanti seekers?
Do you know the whereabouts of the residence of the former warden, Oscar?
The former Warden Gaska?
Costa?
Costa.
That one.
Kausta.
An orcish woman came with a kid a couple months ago, a transplant from Grim Village.
Orcish one from Grim Village, yes. I am aware of them, yes. What do you need to be done with them?
We wish to visit the lady.
Oh, simple instructions then. Grado can of course bring you to where you need to go. Right this way, Gulanti seekers. Please follow me. And they will start leading you through the fog of the city.
Walking.
As you guys wander through the city, Grado will talk and kind of openly speak to the group and go, "You know, I had heard that you had already crossed through the exit to Thule. I did not think you'd be returning so quickly. This Costa person is dear to you, yes?"
He's an old acquaintance, you could say.
An old acquaintance. Well, very good then. It was always good to be catching up with very good friends, yes?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well then, after a small journey, roughly about 45 minutes or so, you guys arrive in kind of like it's almost like a small slums area. It's still beautiful and very much of the natural order of things. The buildings rise and have various signs that they have grown from the earth and formed into small kind of like huts. A number of people curiously eye your guide, who then kind of like gives a tender gloved wave to them. And there seems to be a bit of an odd reception between the pair. Before Grado stops in front of a large kind of dwelling. It seems to be like probably like a 2-bed home, and goes, "The home of the Orcish woman from Grim Village. For you, Gulantes seekers. Would that be all for your needing of Grado?"
I think so for this time, yes.
"I'll be well then, and simply toss a silver, and I will be there again to help you."
Thank you, Grado.
"Of course." And they slowly walk into the mist and vanish out of sight.
Well, I suppose that's it. Do we knock? Do we holler?
We knock, but not so hard as to break a door.
Right, so I'll leave that to anybody that's not me.
I'll walk forward and knock on the door.
And knock, dunk, dunk, dunk. You hear a small child's voice. You hear, "Ma! Someone's at the door! Ma! Someone's at the door! The door! Mom!" Slowly you hear big, heavy foot stomps. You can hear a latch for a lock, and the door opens. You see a chain on the end of the door, and a familiar red-headed orcish face greets you. You hear, "Who? Do I know you?"
Yes, we met a little while ago back in Grim Village. We were friends of Colt Honeycutt.
"You knew my husband, then?"
Yeah, we traveled with him, remember?
A number of his friends have stopped in and out every so often. I apologize. One moment." And she closes the door and undoes the latch and then opens the door fully, and she goes, "Please, come on in. See what you, well, make yourselves at home." And she'll kind of like usher you all inside. Inside, you guys know it is a very, like, not bare bones, but comfortable home, we shall say. In the center is a large table with a collection of 4 chairs, a very heavy hand-stitched rug. There are old bits of armor and weapons that have been hung up across the back wall, all of her equipment from being the warden of Grim Village. As well, there are a number of small rugs and trappings, likely hunts from her glory days within the areas of Grim Village. And sat with their feet dangling off of a chair is a small tiefling individual who sits there in what looks like kind of like a burlap dress for the most part, and is currently drawing, and has like a very extensive set of crayons as they kick their feet back and forth in the chair. Costa looks to you all and goes, "Well, I can't say, and I'm terribly sorry for not remembering each and every one of yous, but anyone who's a friend of old Colt is a friend of mine still today." She narrows her vision, looks at JJ, and goes, "I do know you, though, Ears. Something about you."
Yep. Ears is a good nickname. It's a good one. How's a life been up this way?
Well, it's been well, I'd say. It took a lot to finally get out of Grim Village, finally get away from, well, all the memories of Colt and I, and the people there were good, but they were kind of, the neighborhood was rapidly evolving, and so, well, there wasn't really a place or a need for what I used to do, so it was pretty nice. I got a nice retirement package from the folks that bought Grim Village out, and managed to move out here with my little one. She takes her hand and kind of like scraggles the top of the small tiefling kid's hair. Mom!
Ah, did you and Colt have a kid together? Or?
Oh, well, in a manner of speaking, we adopted, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
There's like
What?
this like look from the tiefling who's like, and doesn't like to hear the adopt word. He's like, Mom's the best mom I've ever had.
I bet. She's a pretty strong woman.
Mm-hmm. Costa looks to the group and goes, "So, I hate to be a bother or nothing, but we were just getting ready, for lunch. I didn't make enough for. I wasn't expecting gas. That is. I could maybe offer you all some small berries or something to snack on. I hate to be
Oh.
impolite.
Oh no, we're the ones that just barged in. We just wanted to just stop by and say hello at the very least. Because I think I had messaged you maybe a month or so back, just checking to see where you were and how you were doing and whatnot, and you asked us to stop on by if we ever made our way up here, and we happened to be in town. So we just wanted to make sure that you were doing all right and doing your best, and see if you needed anything at all in that respect.
Oh, no, I mean, it's just been so difficult, what with Colt gone and all, and I know he meant the world to his friends, and he was out, as he said, saving the known worlds. It's just been difficult, even with his life insurance being cashed out what it was, and my retirement plan, and all that. It's just been difficult. Moving to Thule, I think, was the right choice for us. A nice, peaceful place to get away. It's so good of you to come follow up on us, though. I do appreciate it. Was there anything that my husband owed you all, or?
Oh no, of course not. We just wanted to check in. So you don't miss Grim Village quite so much? Not at all. You've pretty much moved right along.
Well,
To the best of your abilities, of course.
of course. I mean, my heart will always be in Grim Village. But it was never my first home. I lived a lot of other places. It was just where I settled into after the war, after meeting Colt and trying to make something for ourselves. It'll always have a special place to me, but it is also fraught with memories. Place where, our first date was. A place where we first fell for one another truthfully outside of the battlefields, and, well, we ended up adopting. And you see the little tiefling, like, kick their legs. And it's, like, drawing a big picture, like, handful, like not drawing, but, like, whole, like, fistful of crayon sketching.
As she's talking, does it seem like she's trying to recall memories or almost create memories?
Give me an insight check. That is 100% what insight is for.
21.
21. It's a little bit of both. You get the sense, especially with like a well-trained eye for this kind of thing, and knowing full well what type of magic was involved in this kind of set of circumstances, that whenever there is a gap in memory the spell cannot account for or the caster did not anticipate, the brain will try to make a bridge to gap those memories together to make sense, to avoid a collapse. It's part of what these spells do. Specifically this one.
Are there any points in time where it seems like she's trying to fill in those gaps a little more?
You get the sense with the 21 especially that she is still very much the same prideful leader of like warriors that you met initially in Grim Village. And even if there are stopgaps in her memory, she's doing her best to pass it off as if it isn't troubling to her. There's a sense that she exudes that she doesn't want other people to worry, especially not in front of her child or what she believes to be her child.
Okay. Oh, the big thing I wanted to mention to you is actually I'm not sure if you remember who our house is, Lady Gulanti, over down in Deerwood.
Right.
She wanted to commemorate Colt, and she's making a scholarship in his name for future weavers and anyone that wants to follow in his footsteps, you know, and become greatness. She would love to know, like, if there's any sort of stories or big moments maybe from when y'all served together, just to add maybe like a memory plaque or something, or add to his code, or just something to show more folks who might be interested in the scholarship more about Colt.
Oh, that is just absolutely precious of y'all. I do appreciate it. It means the world to us that his friends still hold him in such high regard for all that he did for everyone around him. I greatly appreciate it, and Lord knows my husband had a million stories, but I'm not sure that I have many of them written down, and none that would probably be appropriate for young minds. A lot of, well, war stories that would be a bit more graphic than I think would be all right. You hear the young tiefling kind of speak up, be like, I don't know, your stories are kind of fun, though. I like your stories. Your stories are cool.
Oh, are your mom's stories just as fantastic as Colt's were?
My mom's stories are the best stories, and yeah, my mom's stories could beat up your mom's stories. So,
Oh, dang, that is quite
mhm.
the statement.
The
Oh no, I love it.
Did you have to make it such a red-headed stepchild?
I love a sense of irony. Fuck off.
If it wouldn't be too much, you know, if Mrs. Costa would like to give us a little something.
Is this like an extortion, or I can't give you?
Oh.
I'm sorry. I
Oh
can't.
no, just a bit of a story. I didn't realize that you were such a seasoned storyteller
Oh,
like Colt was.
well, I'm not anywhere near where my husband was. To say that, mostly bedtime stories for the dear one here. No, I wouldn't feel comfortable, unfortunately, going about it. All the stories I have are about fighting freedoms, being paid for doing unsavory things to defend the people near Grim Village back in the days of the Hunter's Reach Wars, and my numerous encounters with Lieutenant Lem, which are not exactly good stories to tell.
Oh yeah, Lamb. Heard about Lim.
Hmm.
If I may be so bold, how long were you and Colt married for?
Oh, several years.
So, like, 2 or more?
No, we had, it is rather personal, and I do apologize. But we had made promises to each other during the war, and then found each other, as you will remember. Well, you might not. I don't quite remember your face, darling.
Oh, sorry. I'm new.
Nice to meet you, New. I'm Costa. No, we had made a number of obligations to each other, and after he had settled down from that, we had made it official, and then he had learned of his purpose in being that of a weaver's chosen, and set south to find his fortune and calling. It was nice to see him again when he came back to Grim Village with, I believe it was your group. You're missing a number of folks, though. I seem to remember Horns among you. More than
Yeah,
just
they
the
were-
one set.
He was left, or he decided to leave on his own.
Ah.
Right. I do have, perhaps if I could trouble you for some motherly advice, since I am quite without my mother at the very moment.
Oh, my condolences.
She's just back home, but I just,
Oh.
I don't have a way to get in contact with her,
Hmm.
But if you knew somebody who perhaps had their brain altered or memories swapped, would you... And it seemed like perhaps they were moving on with their life. They had created something new and, moving on and maybe on their way to thrive in their own strange way. Would you return them to their memories?
This seems like a very complicated question.
Yeah, it's a strange one. It
feels like it's directed at somebody. Is it your friend here? And she points to Celeste.
Yes,
she seems like she's doing very well for herself.
Yeah, it seems like she's doing well, but at the same time, I know that she's also very independent and strong, and a great person. But I'm not sure if she's happier with the current memories now as she sees things going, or maybe if she'd be mad if she knew that her brain had been jumbled around by somebody.
Oh, well, I mean,
would you rather have the real memories, or would you rather have the newer, seemingly happier memories?
Well, if I might be so bold as to say this to you, it is awfully rude to talk about somebody right in front of their face. Now, darling, I am ever so sorry for the friendship you have with this young woman. I think it would be more direct or precise to ask, ma'am, are you happy?
Well, are you happy?
Well, I have the love of a child, and I have lived quite a time now without my husband, and you learn a few things about yourself when you're left alone in that situation. No one wants to be a single mother, but everyone's happy to rise to the occasion, I think. But this isn't about me. This is about you and your special, strange little brain that's been muddled up.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, I appreciate you asking me so directly.
Of course.
I'm just not sure if I want my memories restored or not, you know? Because, like, what if it was really bad before?
It could be horrible for you. You don't know.
Yeah, like, what if... I mean, what would you do if you were in my shoes? Like, would you do it?
I couldn't even imagine. It sounds as if you all are involved in
It's terrible.
a fairy tale.
Some would say it's a a story of a lifetime.
It could be. I'll tell you this. She puts a big. I mean, her hands are big. She puts a hand on your shoulder, Celeste, and looks you like right in your soul, and she goes, "For better or for
Into the
worse,
windows of my soul.
into the windows of your soul." And she goes, "Bitch." She goes,
You better
"Bitch."
keep-
I will tell you this. No matter what you've gone through, you are who you are because of it. And I pray, and I will pray every day for you, that you find love as passionate and as burning in your soul as what I had with my dear Colt. Everyone deserves that happiness at least once in their life.
Sweet Weavers, I hope I find that too. That is just
Hope that for
sounds
you.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Colt was a blue tiefling, or
What? No, he was a hobgoblin.
oh,
Red
Yeah,
skinned.
that's the top.
Had a penchant for wearing a parka of sorts.
Arca, really?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
more like a poncho type thing. He was very affectionate to it. I tried to mend it once, and he was not having it.
Did you by chance save that? Like, do you like? It's like a memento kind of thing. You know what I mean?
No, I believe when she turns and looks at JJ and like squints, and you can tell she's really thinking. She goes, I believe he wore it every day, so wherever he is buried or has perished, then I suppose it would be on his body.
Unfortunately, to spare you the details, that could not be returned.
That is unfortunate then. Well, at
We
least it is
don't
with
have
him.
Yes, exactly. It's with him, protecting him till the ends of time, wherever he's gone. Weavers bless him.
Weavers bless him indeed.
And you for being just so brave. And what a great mom, you know?
You're too kind.
Well, I think we've overstayed our welcome here. We're intruding on your lunch.
Oh yeah.
I do
The
appreciate the
tooth that's-
consideration.
The
Hmm?
the broken tooth is like really obvious on her, right?
Yeah.
Can I ask you something before we go?
Mm-hmm.
Just concerned that last time I saw you, you didn't have that. What happened to your tooth?
Oh, well, it was a bit of an unfortunate matter. I prefer not to go into the details if I could. But, I mean, we could ask the same of you, right? The last time I saw you, you had 2 arms.
Yeah, that's true. Suppose we all.
A lady has her secrets, I'm sure you know.
Not really. A dwarf cut this off while I was helping them.
Yeah, that is something I was hoping not to hear. Thank you. Penelope, you will unhear that. Yes, Mom.
Penelope. What a lovely name.
Now then, this has been quite the whirlwind of events, and I will do well to write your Lady Gulanti regarding my husband's association or foundation that you have set up, and I do thank you so much for that, but I truly do not have enough bowls in the house for everyone here, and I would feel rather rude serving just half the room.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Are we good to go, folks?
I'm happy to head out. Thank you for the hospitality, Costa.
Oh, but of course.
Yes, ma'am. I hope you and Penelope have a great time. And Deerwood's in a bit of a mess right now, but if y'all ever head that way, I'm sure Miss Lady Goulanti will have his statue ready and his plaques ready for you.
I think I'd rather like to see that. We might have to make the journey sometime soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Just going to be honest with you, all those strange hypotheticals weren't about our friend.
Oh, of course, of course. And she
You
turns and looks at Celeste and goes, "They weren't about anyone in particular, darling. You are your own woman, and your friends are just playing a horrible trick on you, okay?
Thank you.
You are doing very well for yourself. Your
Thank you.
armor is
I'm
almost strapped on right, even." You look and there's a strap that's like loose. It's okay, happens to the best of us.
take out her tooth and set it down. You've had your memories altered, and I cannot tell you what is right for you. But if you want to remember things as they once were, we can help you. If you want to leave it in the past, you can.
I don't quite know what game you're playing here, Missy, but I'm not sure that I appreciate it.
Just offering you a chance at a different truth, or if you want to continue living not knowing everything as it was.
What am I not knowing?
I'll be quite honest, I don't know all of your memories that were changed.
Then how can you know what I've lost?
Because the man who broke this tooth had 20 years of his life taken from him. And we restored that to him from the person that did it, the person who bought Grim Village.
Right. Well, I'll have a think about that.
It is entirely up to you.
If you decide that you want to humor it and see what it's about, if you go to the preacher, the one that you go to see every once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
he'll do it for you for free.
He's not going to do it for free, but we're going to go there and pay him to do it in case you decide to go.
Right.
He can take it as a donation to the church if you decide not to. Either way, it's in your hands now.
Mm-hmm. Rather strange set of circumstances, but I don't rightly know if I can say thank you.
me either. Like,
A lot to consider.
do I have to get my memories changed now too? Like, will he do it for me
You probably should,
too?
if
Yeah.
it's this bad, yeah.
Honestly, I think that you should probably just get your memories altered.
Well, if that is all, I do thank you for stopping in.
Enjoy your lunch, I guess. Jeez.
You enjoy your lunch wherever you may have it.
Thank you, I think.
Yeah, that's very confusing.
My apologies, but I wanted to offer the truth to you if you seek it.
I don't seek any truth, but I don't know what your angle is here, Missy, but I am not sure that I am fully trusting of you.
I'm just trying to help a friend. I'm trying to help someone who is very dear to my friend Colt, your husband. This is the thing that I can offer.
Right. Well then, may the road treat you well.
May whatever path you follow treat you well.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Okay.
exit.
Yeah, Belle will
Same.
leave.
And shortly after we make our exit, I will flick yet another silver up in the air for our wonderful little guide friend.
What do we need a guide for, Orville?
You're going to the church.
Do we not know the way there?
Do we like not getting robbed?
Oh, fair.
Grado's black glove catches the coin again in the air, and looks over to the group and goes, "So soon, already in one day. Grado likes this. Aye. Tell it to me, little green man. Where or what can Grado help you with now?"
It would be greatly appreciated if Grado could guide us back towards the church in a manner that keeps our purse strings nice and taut and on our waists.
Oh, not to worry. While you are with Grado, you are in Grato's hands. Grato's hands are not to be in other people's pockets. Come along, please be well. And we'll lead you all back to the church. Here you are. Exactly where you need to be. And about half an hour passes. It's getting towards about midday at this point.
I'll head inside.
All right. You hear the mutterings of a sermon being practiced behind the podium as you all enter, and looks you over and goes, "Hey, can I help you?"
Yes, I'd like to offer a donation for a potential service that may come. We went to speak with Costa. As you remember, I told her what had happened from our perspective, and have offered that if she chooses to come to have her mind restored, that it would be paid for. So, how much will that be?
To have a mind restored. Well, it'd be a simple matter of having such things done. I would look at it as a charitable donation of goodness. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I actually have to relook up prices for. I don't have them handy, and I apologize. He will turn back to you and go, "I would run a donation of about 500 gold pieces."
Right. Well, we'll hand him 30 plat and 200 gold.
He'll direct it all to a donation box.
Yeah.
Very good.
If she comes and seeks it, very good. If not, may the church prosper.
Well, we thank you. While we may differ in religious acumen, I do thank you, however, for your generous donation, and I will see that done.
Thank you.
Very good.
Does anyone else have anything, or are we ready to hit the road?
I'm ready to
I
head
think.
out.
I was gonna see with, I would assume Grado, but about leaving some amount of money for the warden to make her travel to Grim Village should she choose to.
Oh, yeah. You could speak to Grado about that.
I would like to have Orville speak to Grado about arranging some sort of travel compensation or stipend for the warden should she ever want to make her way to Grim Village.
Okay, very good. Grado will look to you and go, "This is a very curious situation. The idea, of course, being that you would be financing a trip that may not be on an exact timetable. Such things would be rather expensive, my boy."
Well, it doesn't seem that she's got the best financial situation. I feel partly responsible for it, so I feel like it's the least I can do to at least clear some of my conscience.
Very good. Perhaps we leave a retainer then. Grado will meet with the people who are looking to travel, and ensure that she meets them when she means to make such a trip. This would be good, yes?
Sounds more than wonderful, Grado.
Very good. Grado will see it done, and Grado would ask a small retainer. Say 1,500 gold pieces.
Done.
Very good. Go ahead and mark it off. And Grado will make the coin disappear as they take it. So, it is paid and bought. Should the orcish woman and her child wish to travel, they shall do so in luxury and with the protections that Grado in my association can provide.
Yes, sir.
Very much. Thank you as well. And
All right.
I must say, you have been a wonderful client. Truly wonderful. Grado would like to reward your frequent charity, shall we say. Grado will reach into their pocket.
See if he's hitting on me.
Sure, go ahead.
That's a nat one.
Probably.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Grado reaches in their pocket. They pull out a bright, like pure silver coin. Like it shines, even in like the dim, foggy light. And they hand it to you. And they go, Grado extends this courtesy to you. Any major city around the world, should you need a favor from an individual who knows more than they let on, this will ensure they respect you for it. If you'd like to add to your character sheet, you have a broker's coin.
I will add that. Wow. Thank you, sir. I'm sure this will come in handy at some point in the far off, or maybe not so far off future.
Perhaps ensure that it finds a good home among a good person.
That seems like it certainly shall.
With this as well, Grado must ask a question, if you're so inclined to answer.
Well, then I suppose I must provide an answer if you're so inclined to ask.
Of course. To what ends do you see your organization pursuing?
I think that would be a question. Me, personally. Oh, sorry. I said I do believe that would be a question for the lot of us, and not just for me to answer.
I have asked you this question. An answer,
Me
I hope.
I think that some people among us seek to ascend beyond mortality, and I should help them in such a righteous quest.
Very much so. Something I see for Grado safe. Thank you, Goblin Man. I appreciate your, confidence. I will show you to the gate when you are ready.
Or we'll lean in and just whisper, "Have you seen these people? It's hard not to be confident in them."
Right. Good for you. Anything else you guys want to do in Thule before leaving?
From what I know, would it be illegal for me to take a petal from the floor that has already fallen?
It's not causing any harm, and it's not causing any problems. So yeah, if you want to take a petal, you can probably do that. With Grado in your presence, we'll look at you and be like, It is, not usual to take things from the grounds, as they must all return to the earth here. But if you want a souvenir, that is a way to do so.
Can I pick one up and just kind of smell it and then put one in my bag?
You may add a sunken petal to your inventory.
Ground score.
Dun dun dun.
Are we ready to be off then?
Yes, mate.
Indeed.
Very good then. Grado leads you all to the exit of Thule. Once again, the large gates. They bade you well. They give a soft bow and exit back into the fog of the city, disappearing from sight. You all return, collect up your newly purchased oxen and cart, get everything in order, and by that point, it's a little after midday, likely leading towards about like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Ah, shit, we forgot Morgan, you guys.
Morgan is standing right there behind that barrel.
Hey, girl, hey. We're over here. We're gonna leave now. I wanna get on this wagon. Go get left.
Strange,
He's been
eerie-
skulking around all day.
Actually, it's you're like, where's Morgan been? And Charles has been floating the whole day. Morgan's just been holding Charles over her face.
Yeah, I was kind of into it. It's weird, but you know, they were hiding together.
For some reason, we couldn't see the entire rogue behind the one floating rat. It's crazy.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys rolling out, and where to?
I think the path towards the elevator and Riska?
Okay, off towards the frozen well. Easy enough to do. Let's go ahead here and get that started for the journey. So, as you do so, yes, you all set upon the cart. Who is currently leading the oxen?
I was gonna say Celeste is good with animals.
Celeste roars, me. Celeste, go ahead and give me an animal handling check as you do so. Unless you are trained with land vehicles. That's the other option. Some people are soldiers. I don't know, man.
12.
12. It takes a while. A lot of clicking. A lot of, come on. Whipping of the reins before finally the oxen. Boom. And set off in tandem. At first heading more east than north, but slowly you peel them over. It takes about 10 minutes or so of peeling them over to make them face north, and from that point on, they begin to march down the eastern road down towards the area here. So your guys' options are twofold. You'll want to go down to the main road of Fort Fury, and then up north, following the main road that crosses the river, or do you guys want to try and ford the river and save on time?
We didn't buy wagon tongues. I'd rather follow the road, I think.
Following the road?
How much time would it save us?
If you forded the river instead of taking the main road, it would save you about a half a day. So it effectively would make up for the time that the oxen are slow.
I don't know. I think I've played enough Oregon Trail that that's not a good idea. We're all about to get dysentery and malaria at the same time.
You're gonna get dysentery no matter what. We've seen what you do.
Worried
to
about
condoms.
no dysentery.
Yeah, Terry ain't shit. I'll diss him all day.
I'll dysentery all day. Simple as.
I mean, to be fair, Cobble Jones has like a constant case of dysentery anyway. So.
It's very fair. So what do you guys want to do? You tell me. Take the road or take the river? What do we want to do?
I vote road.
Road. One for road.
2 for road.
2 for road.
Road.
3 for road. 4 for road. Celeste, we're sorry. Morgan,
On
we're sorry.
road.
Charles, we're sorry. So you all continue down the main road. You head a bit southeasternly, out of Thule, out of the long kind of rising hill slope for quite a while. You all continue along this way for roughly about 2 hours or so. You slowly begin to cross over the section of the river that separates the Ravon Range area from Thule, and continue heading further south. After some time has passed, Celeste, being that you are leading the cart, go ahead and give me a perception check if you could.
Seven.
7 total?
Yep.
Okay. From up ahead, you hear the kind of like chiming and churning of a larger structure. As the hill dips down back again, you kind of end up on like the top of a hill. You can see further down, there's a small bit of farming that's been built into the area, and a very large windmill that sits there and slowly twists and turns. With a 7, I will say, JJ, make me a perception check.
That's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay. Very far off. Beautiful, bright, sunny afternoon. You guys continue for quite some time. Celeste, and JJ, you both kind of hear, like, very far off in the distance, a rumbling of thunder echo out from the area. Celeste, you have a moment where you kind of shift in your armor ever so slightly, leading the oxen forward, and you feel something kind of like bite at the side of your shoulder, kind of like how, like, almost something like reach up and bit you. You brush your shoulder, you brush it again, you feel warmth on your fingers, and you look down, and there is a very much covered glove in your own blood. And you look down your shoulder, and there is a very sizable wound on the sides of your shoulder. You hear another crack of thunder. Celeste, you take 22 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
It's going to be a 16.
16. Celeste, you cough for a moment, the shock hitting you, things of that sort. You make the saving throw against this effect. You guys can hear another crack of thunder in the distance. Celeste, you can see from up ahead at the windmill a bright flash of light, and then a strike into the side of your chest. It goes straight through the front, and you will take an additional 27 points of piercing damage. You guys hear a crack and a break. For those of you in the back of the wagon, you hear as a small bit of something bounces and breaks against the wood of the wagon. The oxen are spooked at this point as they can hear something rattling around, and many of them kind of roar up. Celeste coughs forward, and you can now see, as you guys peer out through the front of the wagon, there is blood dripping down the back of her, and there is a clean bored hole through the back plate of her armor. And that is where we'll call it for tonight. We'll see everyone next week for more Second Wake. It'll be our last episode. Episoda. It's like Minnesota, but episoda. It'll be our last episoda before our small mini break in 2 weeks. And we will find out why Celeste is just holier than thou, guys. Like, you know, she just hashtag blessed, and it's coming out in the Jesus way, where, you know, there's like holes in her body. So it's not as, like, you know, biblical as we want it to be, but, you know, the church has the rights to Jesus, so we have to make do with D&D versions. Anyway, guys, as always, I've been Creamsmere. They've been the Seekers of Galanti. This has been Second Wake. We'll see you next time. Peace.